Don't you know that the music should be solemn?
Wow. Look at that lighting. I always assumed I would be the better looking one on this.
Well,
And was I wrong?
You're the cute one, but when I have okay lighting, I got my little zing thing right there, a little ring. I've got hey, whoa, microphone.
Don't mess it up.
And I've got a little camera right there, peeps. So Theo, don't fuck with me anymore.
No.
Mr. Techno. I put a nice shirt on for you today, little brother.
I want to explain what's going on. If your ears are getting scintillated, it's because he has a better microphone. If your eyes are getting glossy, it's because he has a better camera. I mean, what
ring? I got a ring light up here.
This is fucking technology at its finest right here. He went from the dark ages to basically Elon Musk overnight. Look at you. Look at what's happening here.
Yeah, I feel so. I feel like I'm a pinball wizard, technical all day. No, what happened? You know, I'm here in LA. I'm going to tell some people some exciting stuff about you and me in a minute.
Yeah.
But I had Kyla because you were whipping me hard.
I was.
Kyla came over with her beautiful boyfriend, and they just went. I bought it all, and they went boom, bing, bang, bong, plugged it all in, and here we are.
I mean, it's just changed everything because, we always have those 1 out of every 6,000 people that's like, well, I can't hear you guys. Your audio's different. I'm mad.
You sound so different. Yeah, I don't get it.
Karate chop the keyboard. But now our audio should be seamless. And then also, you don't look like Marlon Brando in Apocalypse Now. You look like I can see you.
Right? Not
I can
bad.
see your face. And more importantly, when those glasses were off before, those eyes were like,
popping.
What is happening?
Joyce and Fred Coates. I had nothing to do with it. Hey, can I just say right now to Samly and Fam Crow and these incredible followers of our family out there. I saw Theo Rossi this week, people.
I know, for something special.
I was 6 feet away.
I know.
Outside,
we didn't even fist bump.
We couldn't even fist bump. We couldn't do anything. He was ready to jump me and hug me, and I just couldn't do it. No. But I saw you, bro, and I'll tell you what, man. No fucking around. To slowly be integrated with my buddies again here in America, for me, selfishly, it's popping the crap out of me. I'm just so excited to see everybody from 6 feet away outside, man. I love it. I love every single minute.
It's like sugar snap peas and hummus.
Yeah. That's what you eat 24/7.
That's all I can eat.
You're so skinny for this part, dude. What is happening? I'm two of you now. What happened? What happened?
So good. That's all. Today I was posting food on Instagram because I was making a list of when the roll ends, what I'm going to eat.
Like everything.
Just weird.
Well, I want you to eat everything.
I'm going to do something weird that I've never done because, I'm a vegan. I eat super healthy as it is and all that. But I usually don't eat as little as I'm eating for this. But one of the things I'm going to do, because it's like overtaken my brain. When I was a kid, I used to love breakfast cereal, right?
Yeah.
More importantly,
Captain Crunch. Chocos, Shreddies.
Fruity Pebbles. Canada didn't have it like we had. Fruity Pebbles, Cookie Crisp.
Fruit Loops? Did you ever have Fruit Loops?
No.
Maybe.
We had them, but I didn't. Lucky Charms. No, Lucky Charms, Frosted Flakes. Mona wrote me the other day. He said Frosted Flakes with a banana is like a New York strip to him. And if anybody knows Mona, that's a bold statement. So yeah. So I'm gonna do a breakfast cereal. I got a whole plan of what I'm gonna do the day this ends.
You pop through this character and it's over.
I'm looking forward. I mean, in Canada, what would you have? Like bangers and mash, or is that Europe? What do you guys eat over there?
What, you talking about breakfast cereals?
Or anything. What do you
come on, we like you guys. You know that. You've seen me. Yeah. I'll eat more steak. I'll eat more chicken.
Yeah, you're a meat guy.
I like my veggies. I'm just trying to stay away from sugar these days. I'm about to go to a gardening center and loan a lot of money to people, and
yeah,
cut my hair, so I'm ready to go.
Look
I
at that
this week.
face. You shaving every day?
Pretty much. You know me. I like to put a little hair on my face when I'm not working because it just makes me feel I can hide.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, no, it's clean shaven. This guy's as clean can be.
Clean as a whistle, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
What do they mean by that?
I have no idea. And who cares?
Is a whistle clean? Who cares?
Never. No. But
it's
in your mouth, you spit and spit all day long. It's clean disgusting. As a whistle. Really?
No, it's not.
Whistles ain't clean. Who made that up?
Spit,
idiot.
It's not clean. It's such a silly statement. So here we are. So you and I were together just before we get into our Capybara. Am I saying that right?
Sure.
Okay. Who cares? Before we get into it.
Sure. Capybara. Yeah, that's how I'd say it.
Did you look it up?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, good. I was hoping you did. So before we get into that, we did see each other, which was incredible, with a few other folks that were all 6 feet apart. I was making sure that I was nowhere near anyone. And it was because we got some cool stuff coming up for the show.
I'm so excited. I'm just your sidekick in this. What? Yeah, are you gonna say anything or not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, cool.
But you know what we could say? I mean, we might as well say some things because it's kind of a fact. In the next few weeks, because after this episode, we're doing 111 Capybara.
Yeah.
Capybara, whatever. Who cares?
Right now, right here, live. Yeah.
Right here. We're about to get into it. A lot of take. Once we get into that, then we've already done 112 because, we used to go out of order and be crazy.
Yeah.
And be wild. And it was anarchy. We're going to go to the finale. It's going to be the finale of season 1, which is super exciting.
Super exciting.
And on the day that we do the finale, we'll have another announcement about some stuff that's going down with the show.
Good.
If everything clears up, there is even talk, and this is super early. I don't even know if you know this. When we get past all this, and make no mistake, we're going to get past all this. We're in the process with vaccines and all that stuff going on. And we're back out in the world sooner than later. You and I used to do those Comic-Cons, at least a few a year, 3 to 5 or a couple all over the planet. There's also talk that when we're doing those in certain cities, certain places, we might even do like a live Reaper. A live one of these.
We will.
Yeah.
You and I will.
Cool.
We're going to hook it up.
On stage.
Fans will come up. Fans will be in front. Fans can scream out their questions. We can talk about like we know nothing about what we're talking about, which we do really well. And what a great day that would be and will be. Fingers crossed.
And we'll watch an episode like live with them. We'll do which we did in Vegas once, you and I, back in the day. Remember we watched the finale in Vegas with like 200, 300, 500 people or something?
Never forget it. Never forget.
That was fun, right?
It was.
What episode was that?
Season 5. We'll talk about that when we get there. I'll never forget.
Okay, cool. Because that was fun. I don't remember much of that. So, and then we have a guest coming on. We're gonna
yes, we do. And I know who it is, and I can't tell you. We're going to keep it between Theo and me. But sooner than later, you're going to hear who it is. Very excited about it.
Sing it. It's exciting. And hopefully their camera looks as good as yours. And that's it. So Capybara, what is it?
Okay, so Capybara, here we go. Episode 11, season 1. Large rodent who hails from South America. And I remember last week, you and I were talking about that word rat and poor little rats that we all love. But guess what? If you thought the word rat was used a lot last week, this whole episode is called Large Rodent Hailing from South America.
This fucking capybara. This fucking capybara did nothing to anyone, and people want to associate him with, like, all he's trying to do is live. Can he live? Can the capybara live? He just wants to
see Sutter. He doesn't drink, doesn't do drugs. He's just a weirdo anyway. He's sitting there with his bare feet in his den, writing this thing. He's going, "Hey, I need a title. I'm gonna
fucking ruin this animal."
And he just found it. He found Cappy, my fucking Bara. And that's what he named
Kim. It's speciesism. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's speciesism. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
And you know what? You just stick to your guns there. You're clean as a whistle to me, Rossi.
I don't.
You just stick to your clean whistles. I'm gonna go into that Kurt Sutter crazy mindset. Here we go. Ready?
All right, let's go.
Jax. I mean, there he is, Theo. I don't know how many times, but it gets less and less as the years go on. He's sitting there on his bed, looking at these burnt out bullshit, like the JT notes, just looking at them.
Fucking dilapidated. He needs to go to Kinko's and get copies of a new copy because that shit is dilapidated.
I know. So that's how we start. Okay, little JT, fine. I love that music that we had underneath the clubhouse scene. I remember that scene. Do you remember that scene, Theo?
Yeah. So I want to ask you about that. We do something interesting on this show. I would love to know the percentage of this, and maybe the fam could help us out, is we end most shows with a montage. There's some we don't. And when I say montage, with a music montage.
Yeah.
We also start shows with music montage.
Yeah.
Not nearly as many as we end. But one day, when we get in particular, because I'm a big numbers guy, I would love to know the percentage of shows that we end with montage music and the ones we start with montage music, because I always know when we start one with montage music, something big's happening. Like they want to get a lot of elements in quick. They want to show you a lot of things quick. Whenever I see a montage song come in to begin, I go, it must be serious. Something's about to happen, right? One of the things I realized in the preview, just to jump back quick, was and I guess because I'm watching the show as we go and learning, I never knew Opie was in jail for 5 years.
Oh, yeah. Remember, we talked about that briefly. You forgot it already, but that's all right.
Yeah.
When we burnt the back off of our boy, that all came out, how Opie went to prison for 5 years for the club. And that other guy ran. He fucking ran. You know, he wanted nothing to do with it. And that's why we burnt that tattoo off. And you're out of the club. That was earlier on in season 1. But
I wonder if Ryan knew that. I wonder if like Kurt gave him that information.
Oh yeah, I would think.
Coming in. Yeah, right.
I would think. Yeah. I mean, I got some info from him. I'm sure that we were still trying to figure out Juice's info because Kurt kept
he didn't know
trying to figure you out in that first season. This first season. Anything. We certainly got to you in 4, 5, 6, and 7 with figuring you out, but
he would, and that really makes, because he's kind of like fresh out the joint then, like in the beginning, he's fresh out in the first season. He just got out.
Pretty much.
Great.
Yeah.
This episode makes a lot more sense with all that. So cops come storming in. I remember that day as clear as any day we've ever shot ever. I don't know.
So do I. Good for you, Rossi.
Yeah. Why?
Because I think this must have been, I don't know, maybe one other time, but we were, you know, we were, I don't know, stall, man. We just were reading these scripts and it was getting darker and darker. We knew what I had to do, and things were just getting ugly and like for the club. And when those cops came busting in, man, we were all together, and we went down hard. And and Gemma's getting kicked in the stomach.
Yeah.
Like it got really brutal over
and Stahl's on a warpath. Like she's got the eye of the tiger. She's
got the eye of the tiger. That's exactly
I'm ready to go. And
you're jumping early going, the cops are outside. Like you saw it on the computer screen. Cops are here and they're in like that. Boy, they bust down those doors pretty quick.
I'm surprised we didn't have like an ADT system or something, like, or an alarm or something.
You know, we should have had cameras a little bit farther down the street, down by the Dairy Queen.
Not like right at
cops
the door.
On the way. Cops on the way.
Hey, is that a cop? He's a block away. Like, hey, give us a minute.
Give us a minute to go run, to hide. Nope, none of that.
Or how about a fence like the door and then a security fence like 20 feet away?
Nope.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Not until tomorrow, baby.
No.
And it was all, I thought it was a bit over the top, even though it looked so great. Stephen K directed this episode so brilliantly, by the way. It's such a good episode.
Yeah.
But it was all over Bobby. Like, did they have to throw us on the ground? Did they have to put us in cuffs? Like all of it just to get Bobby out of there? Like,
well, no,
because
it's her. She's doing it on purpose.
Throwing her weight around.
Yeah, no, she just got her nose smashed in. I mean, give her a break.
Exactly. Do I have to?
You have to.
All right.
If that was your nose,
Oof.
it would have been still in the table. They would have had to pull the jaws of life to get your
jaws
face out
of life.
The table.
Yes, we did the jaws of life on Kim Coach's nose the other day.
To get your face off the table, but you would have come in.
I'd still be there.
Angry. You'd be angry. You'd be angry. So I listen. I could fault Stahl for a lot of things. What happened to her, especially when she thought she had the upper hand. So, but what she does here is she sets up Opie as the rat. And here you are, you and Jax, man. You guys were on fire in the beginning. Piney and Jax are not happy about
I remember that. I remember that scene like it was yesterday. And I want to tell the peeps out there that Tommy did something very interesting when we were rehearsing and then shooting that scene. If you remember, Jax and Tig are going at it. They're going at it hard over Opie.
For a couple episodes now, you guys.
Yeah. It's coming to a climax coming up, me and him. We have a big fight coming up in a couple of episodes. But anyway, he starts going at me, I start going at him. And in the script, it read that Chibs pulls Tig back, pulls him back. And Clay kind of gets in the middle of him and Jax to pull Jax and Tig away from each other. But on the day, Tommy decided to take Jax's side. So I don't know if you remember this, but he kind of got with Jax and they were barreling in on me. And I went, hey, nothing for nothing. But Tommy, I think Chibs needs to pull me off, pull me back. And Tommy went, okay, gotcha. Like he wanted to take a side and I wasn't against him taking a side.
Yeah, we did that. I will say, to jump in there, if I had to fault certain things we did on the show sometimes we would do things without knowing if it was the right thing, as in the taking of the sides.
Yeah.
So like, that's why I was so surprised, like down the road, not to fast forward, but like when Juice was like going through his stuff and like somebody would reach out as opposed to, wanting to kill him all the time. It was sometimes, again, I don't want to say we let personal relationships morph into our character relationships, but like sometimes it wasn't about taking sides. We were a club, right? And I think that even what Tig was doing in this scene, all signs were pointing towards Opie did something bad here. Tig was just being Tig. And I make a note down the road here on this episode where I'm like, Tig and Clay are just trying to protect the club. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's hard to think about. So and Jax is acting from an emotional place.
Yeah.
Because that's his brother, his best brother. Yeah. And Piney, that's his son.
Yeah.
So people like Chibs, like Juice, I played it, and it's probably the only thing I played right in this episode. I was more upset by it.
Yeah, I can see it in your face, bro. You're upset about everything in this episode.
Because this is a kid who has no family, and if he thinks the family's going to get destroyed, he's upset. Yeah. That's the way I had to look at it.
You wore your emotions on your sleeve, which was awesome, actually.
So, but Tig was like, if this is what it is, let's handle it.
Yeah. And at the end of that, and that's right. And at the end of that scene, it was a great shot. It actually ended on Tig just staring out at Jax about what just happened, about what's gonna happen with Opie, not really knowing it yet. As we figure it out this episode, we figure it all out. But it was a great ending to that scene. I thought leaving it on Tig was pretty cool.
And also remember, like, if you really drill down on things, who's probably done the most shit that can get him in trouble in the club? Tig.
Probably.
Right. So he's thinking, if this guy's in there, again, I got to make an animal reference, chirping like a canary, poor canaries. If he's in there doing that, Tig's going to be the one who suffers the most. Right. So
for the protection of the club, you just said it, and good for you.
So, okay. Then Jax goes, Unser being detained. I thought that was a great little note there. Just having him in the cell, which was so bizarre.
But it's bizarre. How did we let that? It's just so weird that Unser was being locked up. Jesus, talk about losing all the power we thought he had He's in fucking prison, his own prison.
Yeah. I have another stupid note. I have a stupid note because I like to analyze things. How did Jax get back to the jail cells? All right, guys, I'll be right back.
From our girl. Gosh, our Saskatchewan girl. I just love her.
So that's your explanation. She said, "Go." So. He's back there in the prison.
Back there. Come on, come with me.
Okay,
let me show you.
I'll buy it. I'll buy that for $1, a Canadian dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wendy is back. I love Drea. I truly do. She's one of my favorite actresses. One of my favorite people.
I concur.
She's
I miss her like crazy. Yeah. Every time she came, it was just a ray of sunshine. The whole history with her in The Sopranos, and then coming on our show, and she looks so beautiful in this scene. Yeah. She's been 64 days sober now or something.
Yeah.
In the show.
Yeah.
I mean, trust me, Drea doesn't wear an ounce of makeup. That girl is so beautiful in life. She brings it.
She's just a force. She's like a force. Like when she comes on, you're like, okay, it's not The Sopranos. It's not all that stuff. It's just, she is unapologetically herself, which is such a rarity in the world.
Yeah.
And when you see that, there's an energy to that. That's pretty amazing. And when she came on the show, I mean, let's be honest, The Sopranos had just kind of finished up and it was the biggest show in the world. She was a significant character on that show. Her being a part of this even in the smallest fashion gave a lot of validity to what we were doing here. Yep. Because our first review of Sons of Anarchy, I'll never forget this. Well, the first review I read, which was in like the New York Post or something, said The Sopranos on wheels. And I was like, holy shit. And then I was in Manhattan on a break from the show. I don't remember when it was, season 1 or whatever it was. And I ran into Gandolfini, Jim, at this place, this restaurant, this bar. And he said something to me about Drea. And it was my only time meeting him. And it was pretty extraordinary because it's, rest in peace.
Sad ending to an incredible human being. He was a great guy.
Rest in peace. One of my favorite actors. Absolutely incredible. Get Shorty, True Romance. He kills it. One of the better character actors to ever exist. And when I met him, he was talking about the show and talking about Drea being on the show. And it was just a really cool moment. So again, she comes back, sneaks into the house because the locks have been changed. That's the first thing,
I forgot that she came back to Jackson's house. I forgot all about that. The cleaners are in there. The painters are in there. Gemma's going to spend $2,300. She had a little scene with Clay earlier. We're going to spend some money on the house. Why? And there she is. And she walks in and it's like, oof, what a mind blast for Wendy.
Question. Yeah. Did she live there with Jax before?
I think so. Yeah.
That's why he changed the lock, or Gemma changed the lock.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gemma with Tara.
Yeah.
Saying that she'll take care of Abel.
Taking care of babies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I believed everything in that. She's so concerned in that scene. No, I'm saying Gemma is always like pressing Tara. You notice that? Like Gemma's always like, she's always pushing her buttons.
Gemma knows what's going to happen, man. She knows that those two are falling back in love. And are we sure we want the doctor in the club? We're not sure. But Jax is ultimately not going to listen to her anyway, even though she's the queen bee of the entire bee's nest. And now here's Wendy, and we'll get into this more. There's a nice scene when they meet up. But in that,
I mean, they're both so good together. And again, oh man, it's why
Tara and Gemma,
when it comes up for season 6, which I happen to be a part of, was so incredible because Gemma and Tara had this incredible way of existing together, this push-pull in every scene they were in. And I don't think I've ever seen it really as defined as this one, before we start getting into the later stuff, because she's like, I'll take care of the baby. I think I've done it before. Men do this and I do this. And then she starts measuring her up. What are you going to do? What's your plans? You want to have kids?
No, I know. It's great. It's great.
It's great.
It's great.
It's such a chess thing going on. Great. It's just great. So then here we go to Juice. I give the bad news about the bank.
I love these little clubhouse scenes with three of us. I mean, it doesn't look good for Opie. Josh has heard from a neighbor that Opie and his entire family were picked up earlier with 3 black, sedans. So the audience Theo and you and I were an audience last night when we watched this show separately, obviously, but we watched the show to take our notes and whatnot. The audience is being spoon fed what's going on with Opie and his family and his kids. And we, as a club, know none of it. We're just getting little. That's the greatness of this show. This audience, which is just growing bigger and bigger and bigger for Sons of Anarchy now at the end of the first season.
Yeah.
They're just getting spoon-fed all this shit from Stahl, and it must be driving them fucking nuts, because it drove me nuts watching it last night.
I got to tell you, I was thinking, it's so funny that you say that. This just drives me nuts that we think the same things. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I was like literally thinking while I was watching this, I was like, this is episode 11. I was like, if I was binge watching a show or watching a show on television, and one of the characters that I started to really like, Opie.
Right.
Oh my God, they're turning this guy into, you know, he's a snitch and we're going to lose him forever.
Right.
And this is going to divide the club.
You want to jump right through the screen.
And you're going, what's going on? And they're not showing him.
Yeah.
They're not showing him. So you're like, oh my God, they cleared his bank statements. They did this. And you're like at the edge of your seat being like, what's going on?
So true. It's so true, bro.
You know, in your head, there's a clock ticking that you only have 2 episodes left.
That's right.
I only got 2 left.
That's right.
It just great stuff. So, and
again, we need to point this out to the peeps. What a nice scene for you, Ron, and me.
Oh, I sucked in that scene. I was a young.
No, you weren't. You didn't suck at all. I just loved how at the end I went, "Get out of here."
Yeah.
Even though you know about this, go get.
So I played it very concerned.
Oh, well, I don't know, man.
I played it a little too concerned. I mean, I get it. It was a little too dire. Like it was a little too external. I'm not going to knock my acting it's 30 years ago or whatever it is. I'm not going to knock my acting.
I just loved it. It was the 3 of us. I thought the 3 of us.
Me too.
We got an opportunity to do a scene together. It was usually me and Ron and Charlie, or me, but you and me, yeah, for sure. But you, me, and Ron, very rarely. So you know what?
Let me ask you a question while we're on this moment for a second, because I was thinking about this. Because a lot of people externally, especially if there's any actors listening to this, or directors, or anybody who's in the arts of any way, would you say over the 7 years, because it is so different when you do TV, as opposed to films, and nobody knows this better than you, would you say you got a lot of direction?
No,
me neither.
No, I think we got a little bit in this first season because we were all finding out who we all were and where we all were going to maybe go. But certainly by the middle of 2, certainly by the beginning of 3, even these beautiful guest directors, then we only got 4 or 5 every year that we got to know. You know, we knew the characters. They would talk about camera angle. They would talk about your motivation.
But I'm talking like emotional notes or anything. Like I never got them.
Not too much, man. I think Charles, Charles
definitely gave notes.
Charles gave some notes near the end, for sure he did. And Charles, and
that's why I love him.
I
love notes.
Paris Barkley, when we'll get to it on the top of season 5, when we lose my daughter, he said absolutely nothing to me, because he knew that if Kim Coates didn't come prepared in his head for the darkness and the depths of inhumanity that's about to take place for him, seeing his daughter the way I did burn in front of me, then there's nothing he could say to me anyway. And so when I came to do that with Pope on those 2 nights back to back, he just put the camera out and let it roll.
Yeah, same thing that Weller did with Jax and I in prison, when we did that big long scene. I mean, but again, at that point, 7, 6, 5 years in, nobody knows the guy better than you. Nobody knows the character better than you.
That's right.
But I was trying to think even in the earlier ones, because I'm one of those people, and still to this day, I mean, I did it, whatever it was, a few days ago, is like, I'm always going to go up and be like, what do you think? We good?
Yeah.
You got it? What, you feeling all right? Everybody feeling good? Oh yeah, we got it. Okay, good. But very rarely on films now, totally different. On films, we're going to get into it. Like, hey, what do we want to do here? What are we looking for? But in TV, it's kind of a machine, because the directors are guests.
That's
like
right.
They're guests.
They're guest directors. They're called guest directors. That's right. They're a guest on our set. And thank God we have them. It's tough to shoot TV in 7, 8, 9 days. It's tough, man. It's tough. You got to get your days in.
Yeah.
But film, man. Yeah.
You're with the person. You got, if you're lucky enough, like the last film we did, you have a few weeks of rehearsal, then you shoot the film, and then like you're together almost like a unit. Where with TV, there were times, and again, I would never say who, but there were times on a few different shows that I've done where somebody would say something to me, a director would try to say something. I go, no, that doesn't make sense because I did this in season 1 or this in season 2. And they go, oh, and I'm like, oh, you don't even, I get it. You don't know the show like there. I know it. You know what I mean? You aren't there. So it's a really interesting, I was just thinking about, especially season 1, who I really got the most from was Kurt. Kurt's going to tell me in the beginning, even because he was off to the side, do this, do that, do this.
Yeah. Good. That was a good point.
So Wendy's seeing Abel for the first time.
Picking up that baby. And she says to Tara, I miss him so much. And Tara, what's she going through? What's she thinking about? Like, wow.
I know she had it all on her face too, man.
She gave it up to Wendy, she gave it up. It's her child. She's the mom. But Tara has been with Jax for, 10 episodes now. Wendy's gone. Drug addict, gone. So there's so much that's happened since Wendy coming home. But Tara gives it up to her. She just gives it up to Wendy.
But you can see the conflict, the hidden emotions, super conflicted in her eyes, everything. And again,
beautiful.
I'd put Sons of Anarchy up against any show for the acting and the eyes on this show. I mean, so much being said without anything being said.
And can I just say, I'm so glad you brought that up. Stephen K made a choice in this episode, Theo. Do you know what he did? He did more close-ups with 2 people in a scene than I can ever remember. We have so many close-ups. I'm talking close, close, and you're seeing everything in the eyes in this episode. It's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, I love Terry Malick style. I want to feel that sometimes when I'm watching film and television that I'm walking next to the person. I want to be here. Yeah. Because again, you can't really fake the funk too much when it's right here. So I want the camera to be on my face at all times. So Mary shows up, man.
How much do I love Mary? I mean, the way she talks, that New York slang, the thing.
Angry.
Kids hate me. I don't give a fuck. Just upset. Really
Comes
good.
In angry. Like when you.
Oh, and did you feel Gemma playing her kick to the stomach? She was playing that pain in her gut.
I was going to ask you that. I'm so glad you said that because she was taking medicine. Is that what she was playing?
Yeah. She got kicked in the gut so hard. So by Stahl.
I didn't know if she had heartburn or something.
No, it was that kick in the stomach. She kept playing it all through the whole episode. It's kind of good.
Oh, great. I didn't even notice that. I love it.
You and I put pebbles in our shoes, remember? And I wrecked my motorcycle wreck. I remember wrapping some hard piece of stone in my knee to remind me that the pain
I just did a movie where I got stabbed and I literally put one of those big clips on my back, like a
idiot
claw clip.
But that works.
Holy fuck, did that hurt? I literally had it on for the whole movie and my skin was purple and getting necrotic. And I was like, I am things actors do. Yeah, the things they do. What is stupid. But no, I'm glad that you said that. So Mary comes in. She's just this incredible ball of energy that I was just in love with when I see it. So Jack's saying it's a setup at the table. This is an incredible take scene. Let me be the first to tell you. You got to tell me about this scene because there's so much going on.
I will. Again, it's another threesome, right? Jax, Clay, and Tig in the chapel. I love these threesomes. SOA was never better than when there was 3 of us. There's something about 3 that it's not just one-on-one. There's something, there's who's going to talk, who's not going to talk. Jack says Opie is being set up, and I say no, he's not. And you just freaking know that things are not going to go well between Jax and Tig. And when I walked out of that room, great 2-shot. Again, another 2-shot of Clay and Jax. Ending up Jax saying, if Opie ends up being a rat, then I'll kill him myself.
Fuck that line. That line got me. I was like an audience member.
I will kill him myself.
So you know what
Think
I did?
about that.
I thought for a second I had to remove everything I know about the show. I had to remove everything I know. And I thought if I was an audience member sitting in some apartment in the middle of San Dimas or wherever somebody is watching this from in 2008, 9.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Jackson's going to kill Opie at the end of the season.
Yes.
That's what I would have thought. That's what I would have thought.
Yes.
Because of the way he says it. They're going to set him up where he's crying and he kills his best friend. And I was like, the line when he said it and the way he said it blew me away.
Great ending to that scene. Great. Just great.
Great ending. We cut right to Stahl pulls out that Picasso sketch that it looks like Monet drew.
And I got written down there like, look at the young Ryan Hurst. Like he's all cleaned up, no cut, no beanie. He could be auditioning for Remember the Titans Part 2.
He looks like the Outsiders. He looks like he's in the Outsiders.
Right?
Pony Boy. He looks like Pony
Right.
Boy.
Good point. And I'm thinking,
he's cool.
Wow,
his hair is not super long. Cool. He's thin. He's got he just looks cool. He's at the table. And that's that version of Opie. If they did action figures, that's like early version Opie. Like there's never been a version of that.
They did do?
They should.
Oh, they should.
If they did, that would be like a completely different version of the Opie character.
Yeah.
Not the Simba.
Well, you call up FX, Theo. You just call them up and you say, you know what? Let's revisit some action characters.
Let me tell you a story.
That fucking thing.
Let me tell you a story.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good one.
I'll be the judge of that.
Season 1.
Right.
I'll never forget. I'm pulled over in the valley somewhere. We had been filming. And I had always been a bit of a tech guy. I had always been, it wasn't.
You're telling me, you know it all.
Everybody, the Sam fam knows. I've always been a bit of a tech guy. And I've also always been a bit of a collector, and I like old toys and I like all this stuff. And I was on the phone with our buddy, Dom Pagoni. Let's see if he remembers it. Do you call him Pagoni or Pagone?
Dom. I call him Dom.
Okay. Well, Dom Pagone, who was at the time the PR at FX. He's now at Showtime. He was our guy. I called him up and I said, hey, listen, numbnut.
Oh, I remember that. I know where you're going now.
I said, we got an opportunity here with this show.
Big one.
If you guys don't do it, I'm going to do it. I said, I think people want this Reaper on T-shirts and on sweatshirts and on hats. And I think you should do action figures. And I think you should do a whole rollout of merch. And he says, they're not going to do that. We don't do that here. And he said, I don't think people would want it. And I said, go on eBay. There's people selling knockoffs. Cut to, nah. I said, let me get to Landgraf. Let me get to somebody. You're missing an opportunity here. And I said, and even if I don't make a cent on it, I think you should do it. It's going to really help the show. It was a fool's errand. No one listened to me. I was still a guest star. Nobody cared. And I was like, man, because I would have people come up to me and go, is there any way I can get like a T-shirt with like the Reaper? Is there any way I can get like...
You're starting to explode.
Starting to explode. Cut to the fucking merch is everywhere.
Yeah.
It's on everything and everywhere. The one thing they never really did was toys. I know they did some, but they never really did like hardcore action figures.
It's funny these Comic-Cons that we do for our charities and a bit for ourselves and to see the fans. And I can't tell you I'm sure it happens to you too. How many people come out to me and go, I need an action figure of you. And we have our bikes. I have my bike. We have a couple of, but they never did that incredible run of all of us in character. And they should have, because people love that stuff.
I know. And if anybody's listening, specifically Todd McFarlane Toys, who does a lot of TV shows, you should do Sons of Anarchy ones. They would be tremendous. Okay. So it's a great scene. We go to the Picasso sketch. He realizes that she's setting him up as the snitch. I'm not going to say the word rat anymore.
I will. You can't.
I'm not saying it.
I might, but go ahead.
Because Mickey Mouse called me up. He doesn't want
exactly.
So listen. So he realizes, which is a great little scene, but then something happens that's even better. Hale realizes that she's.
I can't believe we're on the same train track every single week.
She's freaking
Hale
out.
goes, "What the hell is she doing?" Mm-hmm. He looks at the other cops and goes, "What the hell is she doing?"
Yeah.
You know,
and he realizes this is now personal. This is a vendetta. She's got it out for him. She's got it out for all of them. I love that because right now we cut into the Hale Stall scene, and he's trying to basically get her right, to get her to do the right thing. And you could tell she's going full psycho at this moment.
I've got written down, when Stall kisses, she calls him David. How nice is that? David on the cheek and says, "I'm sorry." I wrote, "I don't believe any of it. She's the queen snake, and Hale, sorry, snakes. And Hale's about to be eaten for dinner." That's what I wrote down. Don't believe any of it. She's going to absolutely chop you down at the knees. And she does.
And she does, right? And I again, just such a great little, again, interfighting even in alliances. This whole episode is interfighting within the alliance that they have. So Jax is sitting with Abel and Wendy. With Abel, Wendy comes in. Tara's seeing what's going down. I got to tell you something. Shout out to Stephen K. Shout out to Paul Maybaum, our DP, director of photography. Gemma shows up. He framed this triangle shot.
No, it was stunning, Theo. And rarely do we have any music in the middle of the episodes that we've done 92 of. Rarely is there middle. We had some music in that background, and the way they framed that shot, from the baby and Wendy and Jax to Tara looking, then to Gemma coming in looking at Tara. Amazing. It was phenomenal. It was
amazing. Good. It was so fun to see because you felt like, again, not a lot of words, just music. And I, as an audience member, am kind of going on this journey with them, which I like.
So good.
Yeah. So then we go right to what you just said. Stall's getting rid of Hale.
You're out. Hale's getting kicked out just like that. Boom. Get out of here, punk.
And again, I don't know what happens, with him with this whole Stall thing, but I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I love that aspect of it, of him being like, wow, she really is.
Yeah.
Gone. Yeah. Okay. Gemma rolls up on Jax. She's
didn't you love that line when Gemma, he goes, have you been watching? And she goes, "I've been watching you since 1978. Meaning that's when he was born. Like, I've been watching you since you came out.
What a great line that is.
Isn't that a great line?
Yeah. And it just, listen, I could fault Gemma for a lot of things, especially if I go into my juice mind, the manipulator, the whatever, but I now understand. I really do understand. And we're not, we're 3 seasons in, why people love Gemma. And she loves her family. She does. She's not, maybe she expresses it the wrong way, but Gemma is like, you want a friend like Gemma. You don't want an enemy like Gemma, but you want a friend like her. And especially when it comes to her family, and you could see it, she's just about protecting. And I just love this scene with her and Jax.
Yeah, it was simple and it was beautiful, and it was exactly what we needed at that moment.
And she believes Opie. Yeah, and she believes Opie. Yeah, that's important. That's important in the grand scheme of things, because Gem is an extension of Clay.
Yeah,
and she believes Opie. So Donna and Opie have a great scene after this.
Sprague. Come on, Theo. Like, how tough was she? How great was she? How young mother, when a husband with is in prison for 5 years and just got out, and they have issues with their marriage. Sprague wore every line on her beautiful face, so beautiful as Donna. Mm-hmm. I could just, no wonder I felt so upset as Kim Coates and as Tig when we had to say goodbye to her.
Get to that. I mean, and again, I want to ask you this: at what point do you think the writers knew?
That
it wasn't going to be Opie.
I think they knew by now. They certainly knew by now, because it's all in motion now. But it was a while ago. You said something so interesting a couple of weeks ago. You said something about FX and Kurt, and everyone's looking at the dailies and putting the show together a little bit and going, you know what? That Jax Opie dynamic is really cool.
It's popping, yeah.
It's really popping. Maybe we hang on to that for a little bit. And no wonder, Opie was, the first major lead to die on this show. We had other leads like Piney and Halfsack who passed away on the show, and Hale. But arguably Opie was the first one to really go.
Opie went, it was a whole.
And I think that's exactly what Sutter wanted to do.
You got to say spoiler alert before you do stuff like that.
Oh yeah. Well, all right. Spoiler alert for the people who haven't watched the whole show.
I got to tell you, someone wrote that the other day. Someone wrote, I haven't finished the show and I'm watching the Reaper reviews now that you're going in order. And now I'm like, I'm aware of it.
Is that good or bad?
Well, I'm aware that maybe I shouldn't mention big.
Oh, you're aware of it.
Yeah.
Theo Rossi's aware of it?
Theo Rossi's aware of it.
Oh, okay. Well, I can play that game. You know me. I take direction well.
Play that game. You take great direction. Let's play that game, because if there are people who are listening to this and they're just like, maybe they have a season left, maybe they have 3 seasons left, maybe they're just on, they're going with us.
That's fine.
Maybe we don't give away things.
I think that's a very good point. You watch. I take direction, son. I can do that. So
you know what this is called? Evolution.
Who cares? Anyway, so evolution of Kim Coates.
Go ahead.
Where are we? It's just
We're
so
at the
good
stall
now.
trying to play Bobby, the stall Bobby scene.
Okay, so Boone and Stall. Well, and I forgot that Booney got an interrogation scene. I think there was a lot of interrogation scenes for all of us here and there, and that was his shot. Pretty short, pretty sweet. Showed off that beautiful tattoo.
Question.
Yeah.
Why didn't she have the notes down, and how did she know all that, and what was the point of that?
It's just to show the audience that she's making it up. She's making it up. She's so evil and so malicious and so wants to get the club back at all costs that we didn't even need to show the audience that there was no notes there. We would have believed anything she's saying because she's going to say it anyway. But to show the audience that there was absolutely nothing there, she's making it all up because she thinks she's pieced it all together from that, we have a witness, don't we? I forgot about that witness.
Me too.
I'll do in a minute.
How did she know about Jax being outside?
I think did the witness see that, or is she guessing?
Well, how come there's not a Andy Warhol of Jax, a sketch artist painting it?
That's a great point. I really do believe that she's just piecing it together. I think someone said that witness might have said there was 3 of them. I couldn't see the third, but there was 3 of them, and they had a car. It was a blue car. Maybe she knows Jax drives a blue car. I don't know, but she's put it all together, and the audience is believing every single, because it's a fictional show, and it's an insane show, and things are going to get, huh?
I like details. I like to know why they write something.
Yeah, well, that's my guess.
So here we go, right? She just had the Bobby scene. Mary's back and she is angry. She obviously hates Piney. She hates the club.
Yeah.
I know that changes down the road, correct? I'm
yeah.
going to talk about that, but she hates everybody.
Yeah.
I think I just broke the rule of what I was
talking just now. About. You just did, but that's okay. that wasn't a death rule. That was just a show rule.
It was literally 45 seconds ago.
Yeah. Everyone's alive on this show as far as we know right now. Okay.
As far as we know.
Yeah.
So she is angry.
Two tough broads going at it right here. 2 beautiful actors going at it. And I loved even Sutter still. Sutter and his team continue to throw little comic zingers under these tough scenes. When Mary goes, when Donna goes, yeah, they love your dogs. And Mary goes, yeah, one of my dogs died. Like, I just laugh at that. And one of them's dead. Poppy died last week. She's gone.
Obviously, Piney and his tequila put her through hell. Let's just assume he put her through hell.
He did.
But what's cool when you think about it? This is why I love canon stuff and whatever. She was probably friends with John Teller.
Boy, you know what?
Right?
Maybe.
If there's a prequel, she's in it.
Oh, has to be.
So
JT. Cool. Oh yeah, JT and Gemma and Piney and Mary. They were around.
It's never going to happen because of logistics of the ownership of the show and all that. But man, I am so down for like a 60s, 70s prequel to Sons
It'd be unbelievable.
Called The First Nine.
No, it'd be unbelievable.
Really
I wonder how in depth Sutter and Landgraf got into that years ago, before the Mines came out. I wonder how serious that got. Because, this show got so big by the end. I was starring in something with Gemma next week.
They should have did it. They should have did it while we were doing the show. They should have launched it in our season 7.
Wow.
They
you know what? You know what? They freaking should have.
Yeah. Called The
they
First
really
Nine.
A first 9. Everyone's younger. Knock it out. Go.
Then in the 60s, they come back from Vietnam,
Northern Cali.
That's the canon of the story. They go to Northern Cali. And you know what's funny is there were rumors back then. It's so funny. There were rumors, and you can find it on the Googs. Hit the Google. There's
on
the
Googs.
There's rumors that Brad Pitt was going to play John Teller in the movie. Remember that?
I do. And you know the rumor.
Fan of the show.
He was just a huge fan of the show.
Yeah.
Brad just loved the show.
Loved the show. I mean, there was a lot of actors that loved the show, but I know he was super obsessed with the show. And I was like, man, can you imagine that? I mean, it would never happen now. It's obviously the ship has sailed because John was super young at that time and all that in that thing. But like right now, if you have some young actor playing John Teller in the 60s, and again, they should have did it then. And they really could have did a lot of things then. They could have started doing spinoffs left and right. Michael Beach could have had a spinoff. There's so many little things that you could have created this Marvel type like universe.
Gone. That ship has sailed.
Gone. Sailed. Fully sailed.
We haven't gone anywhere. We're right here doing episode 11, season 1.
No.
All right.
So let's go. So great scene. Mary again. The dog's angry.
Gemma and went. Yeah. Right? Isn't that the next one? I think
Gemma goes into the house. What a scene.
I'm just going, I went, like again, major close-ups, this whole show, major close. And at the end, I love that kiss in the lips that Katie gave Drea. And Wendy is left with an absolute chance of getting back with Abel and Jax with Gemma's help. That's what I wrote down right there. There's a real chance that this girl could end up back with Jax and the baby with Gemma's help. That's how that scene ended.
Also, what's funny is Gemma's quasi apologizing. She's like not really apologizing for almost killing her, by the way.
Yeah.
She's kind of like, I didn't do that. I shouldn't have done that. You think? Okay.
She couldn't look her in the face when she said it. It was a half apology over her shoulder, but that's a lot for her, a lot for Gemma, probably.
A couple of things I noticed. I love the set with all the construction stuff, like as a tableau, like the background. I just thought it looked really cool. It was kind of like almost like this weird
Tony Baloney did all that. Love him.
Amazing. Tony. Shout out Tony. I love him. He's such a nut. He would bet on anything. He would literally bet on anything that came.
He would bet if I had 2 different socks on that morning. He really would.
One's black, one's white. For money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Quarters for $1 all day long. But he never stopped working, that guy. He designed everything, every tattoo, everything.
So Gemma's manipulating this, it feels like to me. She's trying to push Tara out. Wendy is frazzled by the change in Gemma all of a sudden. She's like, what is going on here? So now we go to which is a really powerful scene and a great way to play it. Opie and Donna are arm in arm walking out. Like basically we're together. Don't fuck with us. But then you realize pretty quick that he's completely bugged. They bugged everything. Poor bugs. They bugged everything.
Can I, before we get to that final scene, let's bring up one little thing here with Tom Everett Scott, who plays Rosen.
It's not there yet. We're not there yet.
Okay, keep going. They're bugging stuff.
This is Opie and Donna walking out.
Yeah, copy
Get
that.
Notes in order, son.
Keep going. They're right here. Go ahead.
So Jax is trying to guarantee his safety to you and to you two. You and Jax have a little bro hug there.
Yeah.
He's trying to kind of guarantee.
Outside. Right. I forgot about that.
So it's kind of a cool thing because you kind of give like this half hug of like, yeah, of course. He's going to come in and talk. Of course. Like if he's fine, we're good. I didn't believe a second of it. Do you remember like kind of the way, because you guys were about to go see
I do, but that was before that's before we find out all the bugs on his truck and his phone.
Correct.
So we want it to work out, but we've already had the conversation where this is not going well. Opie's
the money,
Opie's
the money, the bank being clear.
We can't prove it yet, but we just need one more thing. Clay and Tig need one more thing, and it's going to be a bad day for Sons of Anarchy.
Well, and then again, now here we go to the seniors talking about with Thomas Everett Scott, who, you know, amazing.
What happened to him?
He got a great actor. TV show. He got a TV show.
Oh, is that why we wrote him out?
Yeah.
Because he did 3 episodes for us and he was long gone.
He got a TV show.
Oh, okay.
He was the lead of a TV show and they don't have him under contract. It happened to everybody, Donald Logue and everybody else. So
okay, cool. There you go.
Yeah. But I got to tell you why I love that scene as an audience member. You guys are outside eating ice cream.
Oh, and I just wrote down, I ate so much ice cream, Theo, that day. Theo, let's do it again. Start a little bit farther back. Kim, grab ice cream. Yep. Okay, cut. Okay, we got a little technical on the focus on the feet. Kim, I ate more ice cream.
But you know what's cool? There's kids playing.
Yeah, no.
You guys are existing in the town.
Yeah,
no one's looking at you sideways.
Good for you. Good point out, son.
So
that's a really good point out of charming, of a side of charming that we don't get a chance to see, which is why Unser's in jail, which is why Hale has still got a little bit of softness for Tara, which is why we're still trying to do things for charming in a way, even though we're getting deeper and deeper and deeper into the crimes of the day. Charming was still a pretty great little town with us living right in the middle of it.
Here's my problem. I got a lot of problems, but here's one problem. Why is Opie taking the truck? I know that we need to do it for the bugs, but why didn't he take his bike? I know there's no answer to this. It's just the way it's written. He took the truck. He took the truck because it makes for a better scene when you're searching for the device, the bug. He would have took his bike. He would have took his bike. He's been in jail.
Yeah. Well, if I you know what, it wouldn't have worked. But he should have taken his bike because then we wouldn't have found any bugs on the bike because the bike wasn't in the ATF cop shop. The truck was. So, you know, did they? I don't remember, but did they go right? Did Charlie go get Opie at the house? He did, didn't he? He should have hopped on his bike, but he didn't. He got in the truck, didn't he? Well, there you go.
Yeah, but you know what? While he was in there, they could have went back to his house and bugged the bike.
Could have done that too.
Again, I'm just saying things that could be whatever. So here's the deal. This was I guess you would say harken back or a throwback to the original pilot, which you weren't there for. And I'll never forget this, the one with Scott Glenn and Emilio was playing the Tig role, you know, as Hawk. We were doing, that was the first time ever, we were at a totally different set. Our clubhouse was completely different and it was way more colorful. Super blue and like very colorful. And I had hair, and not hair like this, but I had hair and everything was different. But one of the things I'll never forget, because DL was there, is lift off.
I can't wait to get him on this fucking show. Anyway,
we were doing the thing where we put the phones in the box.
Yeah.
And I remember this is taking like fucking 45 minutes while we were doing, like, it was like, and he gave like this big speech and we had phones in the box and they're going to track this. And I remember we're doing this original pilot with Scott Glenn and them. And I was like, they got to cut all that. This is taking very long. Eventually we stopped doing that on the show.
We did. We
kept it in.
But I wrote, we were still tossing phones in the box.
Yeah, we stopped that.
So
they realized that was like a precious 3 minutes that we weren't going to lose.
Done.
So we're throwing the phones in the box. Again, that all plays towards what Tig's about to do. Juice doesn't trust him. Opie's trying to give his truth. Tell me, it's a great scene for you because what's going through for Tig?
I have to say, this was actually a great scene for all of us. And I'm going to tell you why. This scene starts and then ends. And once this thing ends, the way this scene ends with me and Perlman, I don't think there's another chapel scene that happens with quite the comfortability or the like. Things change from that scene on for the rest of the show in the chapel scenes, because for me it was great that Tig is out in that, and it all happened when Opie comes right in. Clay and me see me smoking a cigarette, and I'm looking over my shoulder. Clay gives me the look. I'm outside before anyone knows. Like Charlie goes, "Where's Tig?" Oh, he'll be right. I go outside and we do the whole thing, and I love doing that shit. I love doing. I remember I couldn't say anything. The look on my face in that truck when I didn't want to find this. I didn't want to find what I found, which was a hearing device.
Heartbroken.
I was completely heartbroken and so upset and so angry. And then I found it in his phone. They let him put it in his phone, and I remember plugging that phone in the goddamn beer and walking in. And as an actor, Theo,
don't you think he would come out and go, "Why is my phone in the beer?
Why is what?
Why is my phone in the beer?"
Oh yeah, they should have, but they didn't want to end the show like that. They wanted to end it on me and Perlman. I'm
going to tell you. So now you give him the bad news. Jax knows something's up. When you two are in there alone, Jax.
He's looking over his shoulder. Good pickup, Theo. Looking at something wrong. Something going on.
You're giving him the bad news. And it's so, again, remember, this is fucking episode 11. There's 2 left. As an audience member, you're like, holy shit, this is really happening. They've been teasing it, but it's going to fucking happen. And I swear I immediately went into defense mode. I was like, this is Stahl's fault. This is all Stahl's fault. Like, I was like, this is not his fault. And I was like, no, don't do that. This isn't his fault. And I think that you're just trying to do right for the club. Like, I can't fault anybody here.
No. And
except for her.
It's brilliant storytelling on the behalf of Sutter and his team. It's brilliant because the audience is jumping through the screen at everybody. Wait, stop. This is not, but when Clay and Tig is completely unwavering, we've got to do this. We have to do this. And Clay, you feel his pain. You feel his undecisiveness when he goes, I've seen this happen to clubs, and it shatters them for the rest of time. And I'm on him like a dog. I'm on him.
Poor dog.
I'm on him. And I won't let him off the hook with what Opie's done to the club. Meanwhile, the audience is going, and no. And Stahl is going to get her way, and it's going to, and so even Hale.
Jax comes in. He just wants to make sure everything's all good. We all good? And
did you see how I acted that, little brother? I smiled at him. We're good. We're so good.
Because you're clear. You're clear of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, we did 12 already. I wish I might have to go back and listen to what we did. Just because I
read the notes.
I'm so curious of what happened in 12 before we get to 13.
Well,
I know 13 is going to be amazing.
I could, well, again, we're not supposed to mention anything, but I think it happens in 12.
Oh, really?
I think we've talked about it.
Oh, yes, we did. Remember, it was the run up at the end. Yes.
I could be completely wrong.
So who's ever listening to this? Me too. Who's ever listening to this? 12 is already out there. So if you want to do a back to back right now.
Yeah. Listen to 12, peeps. Do it. Get caught up.
I think it's called Sleep of Babies or something. No.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, bro. Good memory.
Look at that. Thank you. So here's the deal. Our next episode after this is going to be the season 1 finale. Finales and premieres are always very special episodes for a multitude of reasons. They really are.
I get so excited. You know why, bro? Well, for many reasons, but I got to tell you, I've seen every premiere and every finale of every season. And I know you have too, because we went to them on the big screen. And so proud of this fucking show. So it's a show that I remember, but I need to rewatch to write down the notes, and I'm excited to do that.
Yeah, and so here's the deal, everyone. Sam fam, spread love. It's the Reaper way. Hit subscribe if you're watching on YouTube.
Yeah, do it, everybody. Pass it on.
Yeah, pass it on because it's super helpful for us. And if you're doing this on Apple Podcast, subscribe. Write a review. We're trying to get up there and get our rating. Thank God we're 5 out of 5 for all you fancy
We sure
folks.
are.
We sure are. We have amazing ratings for the show. But, go and take a second. Even if you just write, Kim is so handsome.
Yeah.
Just give it 5 stars.
I can't get past those blue eyes. Or I can't believe Theo's hair is almost like Kim's was on this show.
Oh my God. He has take hair. Or look at his lighting now. Why did it take so long? I can't believe it took so long.
Look at how cute Theo is. He's so cute. I wish he'd eat a hamburger. A hamburger and fries with ketchup.
Soon.
Oh, I know he's a method actor and he's into a skinny guy right now, but hey, eat some fucking food.
Have some lettuce. That's all I eat. But, go, and if you're enjoying this program, that's what my grandmother used to say back.
I love that.
You watching your program tonight?
You watching your program, honey?
Subscribe, do all that stuff. And guys, we wrapped up season 3. So those are all available, right? We finished season 3.
Yeah.
Okay. We're about to finish season 1. Those are all going to be available.
Yeah.
And then we're going to move on to season 2. And then guys, the wheels are.
We go.
When we get to season 4, it is game.
It's going to be sometime in April 2021. The world's getting to be a better place with all these vaccines and people staying safe. We're gonna come through this. When we get to April, I might have to take a week off. I'm not sure. I'm exhausted. No, you're not gonna let me.
We're consistent.
And we're just gonna start season 4, and holy smokes. But again, a ways away. We got a lot going on before that. So subscribe, be a good person, and kindness always wins.
Kindness always wins. Have fun.
Be safe.
Enjoy your life.
Is that the end of the program now, Agent Sunshine? Are we done with the program?
My program's over. I love you, 644.
I love you more. I'll see you soon, brother. Good luck on set this week. I love you.
Yes, you too.
Bye.
Bye.